What if you could avoid costly mistakes in your business just by knowing what to look for? Whether you're thinking about starting a business, building one, or you've been doing it for years, there are things you don't know that you don't know. And sometimes those are the things that can cost you the most. So I asked Mike, after 50 years of business experience, what made you decide to write a book? Here's what he said. Thank you so much. I love for everyone to hear the story behind the book and why this message matters. Those are some of the things that we're going to talk about. My first question is, what inspired you to write this book?
I've seen videos on YouTube, particularly, saying things like, here's 5 steps that'll start your business, which is great. Or things like, follow these 6 instructions and in 2 years, you'll have $1 million business. That's okay, but that's not the whole story. That's the problem. If you're going to start a business, you need to start at the beginning and work step by step through. Now, you provide all the energy and the inspiration, but you have to have the mechanics and you have to have them explained to you step by step. That's what I do with the book, one step at a time.
What experience caused you to say, okay, this is important. I need to put this in my book?
I had nothing. I've had several businesses, and several failures, but some success. I had no guide. And this is more of a guide to get you through the mechanical part of starting a business and running a business.
So the structure, the systems that are needed
right.
So we have somebody who has the big idea. Yeah, I want to be a baker.
That's great. Now, what do you do with the big idea? That's what I try to develop.
So in your book, it tells the details on the how-to.
How-to and what to look for to avoid in each step.
That's good stuff. There's a lot of content about starting a business and making money fast. But what happens after you take that leap? When the business starts growing, things get complicated and you realize everything depends on you. That's where Warmbridge Support Services comes in. We help business owners and organizations identify the gaps, build systems, and create the structure needed for sustainable growth. If your business is stuck and you're ready to move forward, we offer one-on-one and group support to help you get unstuck. You'll find the link in the description below.
I think so.
So someone read your book, right? Yeah. What do you hope is different about the way they think and act after reading your book?
Okay. Of course, the book is written for people who are starting a business, but there are also people who have a business and they skip steps. They may want to read the book to find the steps that they missed. In the very long run, you run a business for 20, 30, 40 years, and you're ready to sell the business or get out of the business because you don't have anybody that wants it. How do you sell it profitably? How do you make at the end of your quote-unquote career, how do you make more money by selling it properly? And that's a big factor.
So what I hear you say is, yes, you can put it together real quick.
Yes.
But if your foundation isn't right,
that's right.
Whenever it's time to say, okay, I'm ready to sell this, it's too much. If your foundation isn't right, you're going to run into problems later.
Right. Well, and people start a business, particularly service people, a plumber, an electrician. They've got everything. They're doing everything. Well, at some point you hire 3 or 4 5 people, and the more people you hire, it's necessary to have a process and procedure manual. And some people don't do that. If you have a key person who is critical to the business and they get sick for 3 months, what happens? God forbid one of the key people or the owners dies. How do you proceed from that? The other thing is, if you want to hire family, you don't just say, Jim, you want a job? No, there's a process to hire family. I've seen it happen over and over. When your son graduates from college, he goes out and works for a couple of years in the industry, whatever you want. Then you can hire him because he's had some experience outside the business. There's a lot of things that
are getting missed.
Yeah. And if you don't cover those steps in your growth of your business,
it's going to come and bite you later.
It's going to get you later.
I've noticed that having valuable knowledge isn't always enough. Like, I know how to do this. Like you said, the plumber, he knows how to. And so yes, I know how to write a book, right? So people have to understand why your book now matters. How do you decide what message was most important for readers to walk away with?
Okay. If I die tomorrow, without the book, if I die tomorrow, my experience, my knowledge disappears. So I wrote the book so other people can gain value from it. Now, is it valuable to them? That's going to be determined by the client. Are they going to absorb that knowledge?
You nailed it. You got to apply it.
Yes, you have to apply it.
Because if you're just reading it, then
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. If you read the book and say, oh, that's great, set it off to the side, it's worthless.
yeah, you can't just read it and not use the information.
You have to use it. And I'm not saying that everything you need is there, but 99.99% is there. Another thing, you got to have the right kind of insurance. You got to have the right kind of organization. And it depends on your industry. It depends on the type of business you have. I tried to cover as much of that as I could. And the book is written for brick and mortar, a mobile business, an internet business, and you'll know which parts to leave out because you don't need every part for every business. That should be, hopefully, people will understand that.
What I heard from what you said was, yes, we have the big picture, but your lived experiences has the details and the errors to avoid.
Yes.
When somebody reads your book,
Right.
You're helping them skip milestones of error and save money.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Because sometimes we don't know what we don't need.
That's right.
Until it's too late or you get there in the moment. So you're saying before I even get there.
Right. And I think I've said this before, but each chapter covers a step, not exactly, but like finance. There's a couple of chapters on finance. Marketing, I think there's 3 chapters on marketing because it's so important. I've experienced a lot of business owners really don't know enough about finance to make their business as profitable as they want it to be. So we cover a lot of those details in the finance section.
What about the ones who are like, okay, I'll figure it out when I get there?
Okay. Here's a book that'll tell you what to do when you get there.
So you don't have to figure it out.
So you don't have to figure it out. I wish I'd have had this book when I started some of my businesses because I skipped a lot of steps. And of course, one of the things is if you don't make sure that you have the proper license to operate so you don't get in trouble with Mr. IRS. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's important.
And the relationship between your accountant, your bookkeeper, you got that relationship is very important. Don't get an accountant and a bookkeeper that don't talk to each other.
My question is, why do I even need an accountant? I can go learn those skills myself.
Oh, yeah. Is that your specialty? Is that what you're good at? You're a plumber. You're going to go learn how to do accounting, or an electrician, or a massage therapist. Why would you go learn that? No, stick to what you're good at and use the other people who are out there.
Let them have their gift because some people like numbers. If anyone watching wants to create a greater impact in their own career or business, what's one action that they can take this week?
You got me. If you have an experienced, educated business owner, he doesn't want the book, but he can refer somebody who is starting a business, who wants to start a business. He can refer them to that book so that they have that knowledge.
I feel like someone who is experienced can still benefit from the book because, like you said, you have experience and there was still something you didn't know.
Yes.
That the accountant had. So I feel like also like online, what I'm seeing and experiencing a lot is people using AI and saying, I can just research everything. And so I don't need to go to the accountant. I don't need you. I don't need somebody who has experience to help me because I'm just going to Google it or use AI to help me figure it out. But just like your book, like somebody who is experienced, there's still spaces where you don't know everything. And this book can still help with the details you might have missed.
I think so. Yeah, I really do. AI is great. I would never create anything with AI that I didn't read through thoroughly because it may throw in something in there that has nothing to do with what you want. So yes, use AI. It's great. It's a great tool. It's a tool. It's a tool to use. That's.
It shouldn't replace humans. or someone who has 50 years of experience.
AI,
It cannot.
it cannot,
It cannot.
because there's human factor. We have emotions. AI doesn't. We have feelings. AI doesn't.
And so another big thing I've noticed is relationships. I'm noticing a lot of the distance, and we're not getting the relationships in networking and stuff, because in the online space, it's like I can do everything on my own. I don't need to network or do the relationships. I don't need other people.
You have a human to human factor in every sale. AI can't replace, I should say, AI can't replace a salesperson.
But I can have codes and have it filter everything.
Now, like I said, use AI. It's a great tool. Use AI to generate information about your customer. It'll never replace a face-to-face contact.
Awesome. I think that's important for young entrepreneurs or people who are AI savvy and really running with the new AI era, to know that it's important not to allow that to isolate them or to not see the value of human connection.
Absolutely. That human connection makes the sale.
Where can people learn more about your book and connect with you?
You can look on my LinkedIn page, because I have my book there and I'm advertising it a little bit. But you can also go on Amazon and find it. It's All Business Mastery by Michael Nebgen Sr. Mike Jr. Don't go there. It's a different area altogether.
And we can find it on Amazon, and we can find you on LinkedIn.
You can find me on LinkedIn, yes.
The heart behind the book.
I just hope people get value out of it. That's the thing.
And the main value you want them to get is
not taking a step and putting your foot in the puddle instead of putting it on the ground. Avoid some information you may get from a friend that's not experienced.
Ooh, that's a big one. Taking advice from someone who doesn't have the experience.
That's true. Yes. Yes. Your friends are great. Your friend may be jealous of the fact that you're on your path and you're succeeding and they're not. Just be careful about that. Be sure you have an advocate, a true advocate for you. It could be your parent. It could be your brother, your sister. It could be a friend who's not related to you. It must be in your favor, particularly.
Mike, go find him on LinkedIn, support his book, grab the book, because I think it is valuable. I love what you said, that to be proactive. That's what I understood you're saying out of your message. Let's be proactive.
Right.
So for the long term, your business will be sustainable, and not for the short term. Oh, I have this big idea. Let's jump. Let's figure it out.
It's great to have a big idea, but if you don't have a path to go down, it's not going to work.
Save you some depression, some heartache, some money.
Oh, God, yes. It's a guide so that you don't veer off to the left or the right and you go to your objective.
I love that. I pray that you found something we shared here today helpful. If you want to be proactive in your business, because we don't always know what we don't know, definitely check out Mike's book and expect to find some valuable nuggets. If you're ready to build a business that runs without you doing everything, message me. The link will be in the description below. Follow what we're doing, and remember, put God first and everything else will fall into place. Bye.